Hey y'all, welcome to Quiet Night Gaming. We've been playing a lot of Legends Arceus lately and noticed there are a lot of fun aspects to the game. However, there are a lot of areas we think could be improved to make the game even better. In today's video, we are going to be going over our ideas of what we think can be used to improve the game. While this isn't an exhaustive list of everything that can be improved, we will discuss a few ideas for improvements to Legends Arceus.
Catch range. The first improvement would be to increase the catch range. There are many times where it seems you're close enough to catch a Pokemon and you throw the ball and it'll hit the Pokemon, but the ball bounces right off. It can seem a little frustrating and it would be a lot better to make it so that if the ball is able to hit the Pokemon, it should at least go in the ball, even if the chance of catching it is super low.
Throwing items and Pokemon off Weirdeer. Have you ever found yourself running around the map collecting resources for crafting or catching Pokemon quickly and having to constantly jump off back and forth off of Weirdeer? Why not let us throw our Pokemon and items while riding Weirdeer? Racking up items for crafting while catching Pokemon would be much quicker. It would also feel much more natural as you were able to explore the world while staying on Weirdeer longer and not constantly shifting on and off Weirdeer, which can look somewhat goofy at times. Even staying on Weirdeer during battles would definitely feel really cool as well. We already get all of these capabilities with Basque Legion, so it's certainly not something that just passed over the developers' heads.
Flying upward on Braviary. Gliding around Legends Arceus on Braviary is an incredibly fun aspect of game exploration. However, it seems like a hugely missed opportunity by the fact that it's limited to gliding as opposed to the option of flying upward while in the air as well. Exploration would open up much more, and it wouldn't be so irritating climbing the cliffs at Cornet Highlands and give a much more open world exploring vibe. Sure, it's probably best to avoid flying too high since many Pokemon wouldn't load and you would potentially miss out on some shinies, but it would still be a really nice exploring option in the game.
Moves hitting multiple Pokemon or sending multiple Pokemon in battle. It strangely feels off having a Pokemon game where many Pokemon can engage in battle with you at once, but you can't use a move like Earthquake to clear them all out. We think having at least a few moves in the game that give you the capability to hit multiple Pokemon at once would make annoying counters like having 4 angry Murkrows chasing you down less troubling. This would also make clearing out Pokemon in outbreaks much faster. Of course, it would be problematic if you're shiny hunting since multiple Pokemon wild battles can alter advances. If you are unaware of how shinies roll in Legends Arceus, you can check out other videos that discuss how this works. We'll have a link in the description with our favorite video. In further regards to this topic, why not also allow us to send multiple Pokemon in battle? This would also seem like a really cool idea that multiple NPCs throughout the game get the ability to do. While it's a feature like this could certainly make the story seem a little bit easier since you have multiple Pokemon in battle, perhaps this could be an unlockable feature once you reach the post-game or have obtained a high enough rank.
Interact with Pokemon in pasture. The pastures in Legends Arceus are the equivalent to boxes within the many other games of the Pokemon series. A wider variety of mechanics within the pastures would allow for more efficient gameplay. You can search by name, type, markings, etc. The game will gray out everything, but the Pokemon that meets your specifications will remain in color. And then you still have to scroll all the way through the many boxes until you locate the one you're looking for. An idea to make the searchability more efficient, we think, would be to have the option under the search function to just populate the Pokemon that meet your search requirements, and rather than just graying out what doesn't, just make them disappear because in instances like Onix, you may have difficulty finding it as it is already gray. Another great improvement for the storage component would be to add more organization capabilities. For example, you should be able to organize the Pokemon in numerical order. You can see this being possible through your item storage in the game, where you simply select the minus button and instantly organizes your items in your bag or your trunk. This would provide for a cleaner look to the storage and would also make searching for specific Pokemon a lot easier. Another idea would be to add more interactions with your Pokemon within the pasture, almost like camps in Sword and Shield. Since the pastures are just gated fields, a player could have the option to enter the pastures where you can choose to play or photograph a larger number of Pokemon like your shinies or your alphas.
Option for voice over story dialogue. The story in Legends Arceus is a huge component to the immersion of an engaging gameplay experience. However, for a game that focuses as much as Legends Arceus does on a story, It seems like providing the player with the option to toggle voiceover on cutscenes would make the storyline feel so much more engaging, having both visual and audio forms of story entertainment. An idea like this certainly plays against Game Freak's natural design to nearly having all story dialogue done by other characters, meanwhile the main character's voice is limited to just a few short phrases. However, the new game style of Legends Arceus would have seemed like a perfect time to trial this feature, even if Game Freak wanted to maintain the limited dialogue for the main character. Graphics and animations. Anyone who has played Legends Arceus is certainly no stranger to the poor side of graphics, 3D textures, and animations throughout the game, and these can certainly be improved upon. However, most of these improvements are little details that only affect a smaller portion of the visual experience. Luckily for Legends Arceus, the gameplay is also extremely entertaining, making these graphics and animations more easily to be overlooked. It would still be nice if these were improved upon in future patches or updates, like the recent update that added massive mass outbreaks.
White lines in dark areas. Have you ever noticed those pixelated white lines around the characters when playing through darker settings like caves or in the night? While it's not a huge issue, it's certainly harder to unsee once you realize it's there. Oversaturation. Saturation is really just the intensity of a color. The more you increase saturation, the less gray or dull your image becomes. When used correctly, it could actually add more life to an image, making it appear more vivid or realistic. In Legends Arceus, however, it appears as though the designers may have gotten a little abundant in their saturation values, but this could very well be the look that they were going for in the appearance of the game. During the night and cave scenes, this increased saturation actually comes in handy, as it assists with our ability to see things more clearer because of the increased contrast. But during the day, this makes it more difficult to spot Pokemon on specific terrain, like a weasel on the beach due to their similar orange-yellow tones, and trees that don't have collectible items getting more chunky leaves clumps due to the loss of shadows and dimension with the oversaturation. Again, this intensity of the colors could very well be what Game Freak was going for, but we just think a little less saturation would add more of the realism and the open world concept in Legends Arceus.
Bad textures and Pokemon animations in the distance. This one is probably the most noticeable. It's quite clear to see how textures like mountains or hills in the distance look very poorly rendered, almost like they're in a GameCube game. It's also evident on distant Pokemon as well, making them move in an awkward and somewhat funny graphical manner. It really seems like Game Freak was under a strict time constraint to get the game released with a completely non-polished graphical open world. While these lower renders may also help with keeping the game running at a smoother frame rate, it definitely would have not pushed the Switch's capabilities with some minor improvements. I mean, look at other open world games like Breath of the Wild. At least graphics and animations do get improved upon when you get closer to these objects in Pokemon. However, it would be nice to see them improved upon overall. Improve load distance. Another noticeable detail is the load distance for Pokemon, NPCs, and other textures. It would be nice to see Game Freak improving the distance at which these were visible such that they appear at distances much further away, almost as if they were to appear with our actual eyes in real life. This would again be another fractional detail that would add a sense of realistic immersion to the game.
Animations in scenes. Whether you're completing the story or a request, there are many times in cutscenes where we hand or are handed an item and it's just a blank hand gesturing in the direction of the receiver. With having the item's model present and a more realistic hand gesture added, it would enhance these moments throughout the cutscenes. Clothing pixels. This is a very small issue that only seems to appear in some of the clothing combinations in the game. We've noticed this particularly when you select one of the festival top options. In the view of your character running, you can see the pants breaking through the pixels of your festival top. Again, while this is not a big issue, it does feel like a small thing that with an easy fix.
So what do y'all think of these improvements to Legends Arceus? Do y'all agree with them or disagree with them? Are there any other ideas that y'all may have to improve Legends Arceus? Also, were there any other times where y'all been playing where there's a weird glitch or a strange thing may have happened while you've been playing that you think can be fixed? Leave a comment letting us know and we'll be happy to read. And if you enjoyed today's video, subscribe. Thank you.